Venus. Venus represents our values and our sociology, the archetype of the youngest daughter, representing love and beauty. Venus establishes our values, our morals, and our natural laws, and how to deal with others and the world. Our personal Venus is how we establish what's right and wrong and our moral questions and our issues. If we're not acting with moral clarity, we will receive harsh retribution. Venus's established values become Jupiter's laws. And when you break Jupiter's laws, you receive the retribution from Saturn. Venus's solar orbit is 225 days, and the mandala orbit is about 9 to 11 months estimated. It'll vary with each gate, but it's around like 9 months to about a year. And Venus will spend 5 to 7 days in each gate.
So Venus setting up this moral interpretude that each human has, that each man and woman has of their own, very much akin to what gate 49 does in our body graph. This and gate 50, these tribal aspects that have values, and values also inform principles, and these two things come together. You could keynote many more tribal aspects into Venus. So it's the bubbling up of that which is going to be the way, and the way does have a binary of love and light, and then retribution and death, and at times hate, because it's consciousness is doing what all consciousnesses do. You can't know love without the other. You can't know darkness without light. These are things that we know is true. So we come a long way. Once upon a time, Venus was the eye, and the eye in the sky. And when it came, it was the, 21 days of ritual sacrifices and beheadings. There are cultures that would do that because it would come
all
up.
All sorts of crazy cultures.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying that. So Venus, it might not be their fault. Venus may have brought that to the limited way in which their genome and their seven-centered way was designed to express the translation of the neutrino field coming in on it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, the energy is coming in and we can interpret it in different ways. So you can interpret it in like high and helpful ways or low and damaging ways. So.
Right. And the old ways. But anyway, so move forward. This love and beauty is this fulfilling of a graceful way to have the principles and the values be something that doesn't need too much judgment, hopefully. And that's what it's hoping for. That's its nine-centered way. So it's this mores. If you just want to take the subtle version of it, you take your Venus, both of them, add them together, or just the personality side, because you'll recognize that deeply. It's important to just see just that. Look at that gate for yourself in the line, and you'll see this is a deep spot where certain morals in you and things that will anchor and become those things that are convictions as well, brew through the movement of this. And what is Venus establishes the way the youngest daughter. So the youngest daughter is maturing her way through what values will ultimately concretize later in Saturn and Jupiter and Saturn.
I'm totally like thinking of Little Women and like the different sisters because they have like
I remember that movie. I love that movie.
I love Little Women. It's one of my favorites. But like, you can imagine like Meg, the oldest daughter, helping out more so. And then you have Amy, who's like so obsessed with beauty and frills and art and creative, pretty things. So it's like that archetype of the youngest daughter who's love and beauty and things, and establishing your values. Because you can maybe get a little too conceited and maybe not establish the correct values because you're so preoccupied in aesthetics and love and beauty, and then establishing incorrect values and not having the right morals and natural laws, and finding that balance between beauty, love, aesthetics, and absolute truths and how you're supposed to treat people and how you interact and deal with the world. There's an interest
leading to truths, leading to many truths get witnessed to there. There's almost a prodigal feature in this because it keeps coming back to assess the truths. Venus is always in our life, always circling. So I'm pretty good with Venus.
Same. Oh, I have the etymology. So etymology for Venus, named after the Roman goddess of love and beauty. and the Greek Aphrodite, as it's the brightest planet visible from the Earth, often seen as a dazzling star at dusk or dawn, symbolizing beauty.
That seems like not enough.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's not you. It's the etymology. So I think that etymology got scrubbed a little bit. It turned into what's that thing everyone always goes to? Wikipedia. I think it got Wikipedia a little bit.
I mean, yeah, it's a simplified thing, but yeah, it's named after the Roman goddess of Venus because of the beauty and the dazzling in the star. It's like, yeah, it's got more depth than that, but as a simple etymology, it's what we got.
Absolutely. No, and
So
that's where we want our nine-centered Venus looking towards anyways, but it just,
yeah, well,
it.
and there's also, I think there's also a disrespect towards the feminine and not appreciating the beauty of the feminine, or like, oh, it doesn't matter because it's just beauty and women are just obsessed with it. When it's like, no, beauty has its place because you shall know them by their fruits. You can
Right.
see, is this the right direction by how beautiful something is? If something is all like
Values and morals and yes, are more important than are so important in all of this is what you're saying.
yeah, there is something there where I think it's easy to like laugh away the frivolous concerns of little girls wanting pretty things, but it's like, no, there's something there of beauty is a good direction to go in. Like,
Absolutely. So
beauty would
somewhere,
establish our values and morals, because if it's pretty, you're going to want that. You want to eat the fresh, beautiful, ripe food, not the dirty, moldy, rotten food. Like, that's a
so let's
really
take me through the
important
body
value
graph a
to
little.
establish, or you're going to eat some rotten food and get sick. So beauty is
Yeah,
actually really important.
and don't eat the rotten food. So
Yeah.
let's see if there's a theme that travels through even with the body graph. We left Mercury as the representation of manifestation and the development of consciousness, and now this I would liken into gate two. Lots of gate two action. We keep talking gate two. I keep saying the Earth technically does the driving, but gate two. This reminds me of gate two-ness because towards beauty.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. It's pure feminine, like it's receptive, it's receiving, the youngest daughter, all these archetypes, kind of these symbols.
But what
They
happens?
hold
Yeah,
stuff.
what happens first? We smash into like I'm got something to say. Yang, yang. It's like a little bird. Yang, yang. Trying to find its mate.
Hmm.
Yang, yang. So,
Well, you're speaking before you're establishing your
yep,
values, right? You're a little
yep,
kid. You're
yep.
interacting and moving in the world in that Mercury kind of way. Whereas, like, yeah, Venus. It's actually really cool to go into that of how beauty relates to our values and our morals, and how it works into natural laws. Like, I've never thought about it that deep, but there is something really there, and that was really cool.
Yeah, there's going to be a thread that runs through this, Moni. We're going to see it.
Then Venus is the costume designer and art director, creating what is beautiful and appealing, shaping your aesthetic sensibilities, what you're naturally drawn toward in relationships and experiences.
Venus and Mars will get the applause at the end, and Venus for her absolute role, and not just the costumes and the art direction, but the art direction, the direction of that art. You know what I mean? And the direction of the unfolding and the genesis, and not just the genesis, but the evolution and the growth and the expansion of that art as it does expand out into Jupiter and technically Saturn.